Camera's been rolling. This is going to be the review of Grimmauld Place, and I don't know how many pieces are in it or how much it costs. So I don't know how I'm going to make a Lego review of this. Grimmauld Place. Let's find out. Retails for $120 US. 1,000, is that an 8? 1,083 pieces. Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Zachary Gutherman, and today I'm going to be giving you a review of this Lego set right here. This is the Lego Harry Potter number 12 Grimmauld Place. This set comes with 1,083 pieces and retails for $120 in the US, so it's a bit of a pricey set, but I can say without a doubt this was my number one most anticipated Lego set ever since it was released, ever since it came out. You know, I would go to Target all the time and just be like, oh my God, one of these days I'm gonna get it. Today's the day we're gonna be doing a review of this set. This set is awesome, and the reason why it's awesome is because of this functionality right here, where you can actually close the building to reveal Grimmauld Place, which is just awesome. It's such a cool play feature. Really, really awesome. It's a super simple mechanism. It is one that you have to activate by yourself just by pulling and pushing. But man, it's nice. The details in this thing are absolutely insane. We get a great selection of minifigures, some really good looking ones here. All in all, just a super, super awesome set. I'm gonna stop rambling, so without further ado, let's take a closer look at the set, starting with the minifigs. Alright, so let's start off by taking a look at the minifigs, and the first minifig we have here is Harry. Harry comes with a broom piece as well. It's the new style of brooms, which I really, really don't like. You know, it's just a two-piece assembly there. Let's see if we can get a good look at that. I just really don't like them. There's 3 of these included in the set. This one has 2 that come with this style where it's dark brown bottom and regular brown top, and then the third one is a black top with a tan bottom. I just really don't like those things. I just don't think they look good. But Harry looks good here. He's a really cool looking minifig. You can just take a look at some of his details. I want to get through these guys somewhat quickly because I know Lego reviews can take forever when people talk about the minifigs too much. This is a pretty basic version of Harry Potter. And the next minifig we have is Ron Weasley. And this is again a casual version of Ron. I love that they're using this hairpiece again for Ron. I think it's perfect. The torso is kind of meh to me. It's good looking. It, you know, makes sense. It's accurate, but I'm just not a huge fan of the colors of it, but that's all right. Nothing wrong there. There's a look at the back printing, and Ron also does have an alternate face, kind of more angry looking. And moving on to his brothers, Fred and George Weasley. I love, love, love the face print on this guy. It just looks so good, so happy, so laughy. Really, really awesome. Fred and George share the same torso. The only thing that is different is their headpieces. So here's a look at the alternate face for this twin. I believe this one is Fred. He has a smile and then a laughy face. And moving on to his brother, again, the same general torso, legs, and hairpiece. The only thing different is the face. This is a very happy, jolly face. Then on the other side, this face I also really like. It's a nice little kind of menacing smirk, like you know he's up to no good, which I think is just really, really good. Next up, we're going to move on to their mother, Molly Weasley. It's another really good looking minifig. I love how just bright and outgoing the torso is. That's a really, really cool looking torso print there. A lot of detail, really looking good. I'm still not a huge fan of her hairpiece that they've been using for the new characters. I personally preferred the hairpiece that her earlier character had. I believe the 2011 one. Just personal preference, but it still looks really good, really fitting for her. She comes with a cat as well, so here's just a small look at that. It is a pretty basic orange Lego cat. Let's see if we can focus on that guy. Pretty cool. Has a nice, pretty good amount of details on there. I like that a lot. And then just turning Molly around, she also comes with an alternate face. This is a face where her mouth is just not open while she's smiling, which I think looks really, really good. The next minifigure we have here is Tonks, and she looks amazing. Right now she has her purple hair going, a really nice smile, and just a really, really cool torso. Just a really good amount of detail on there. Looks really, really good. And Tonks also comes with an alternate face for when Piggy has awoken. So we have the other face there for Tonks. And she also comes with alternate hair, so you can change her hair color based on her mood. And yeah, that just looks really, Really good. Such a cool minifig. And then next we have Kingsley, which I think is another really, really awesome minifig. This minifig looks so good. I love his torso printing here. Just the mixture of the blue with the purple and all the details just looks amazing. Contrasts really, really nice with his skin tones, really like that. He's got a hat on, so we don't have an alternate face for him, but this minifig just looks absolutely incredible. Really, really nice looking. Really, really well done minifig. I think Kingsley is one of my favorites in this set. Just looks really, really good. And moving from one that looks really good to one that doesn't look as good, we have Creature. And I think Creature as a character looks great here. It's just he's, you know, the ugly, old, grumpy house elf. But Creature here in the set looks really, really good. A specialized head mold for him there, which I think is really, really nice. Looks really good, has a good amount of detail on it. His torso looks really good as well. You can see he's holding an umbrella there. Obviously no alternate face for Creature, but we do get his back printing, which I think looks really good. And that leads us to the master of the house, which is Sirius Black. And oh my god, does he look good. Sirius is by far my favorite minifigure in this set. He's also just one of my favorite characters in Harry Potter in general, which I think is why I was so drawn to this set in the first place. But oh my god, he looks so good. Using the olive green for his suit coat here is just phenomenal. His face printing and hair looks really nice, just a much more cleaned up version of Sirius, which I love. He's got the vest printing, which just looks so, so good. If we spin him around, Sirius also does get an alternate face. If we just pull off the hair right there, kind of a more angry face, which I like. I think it's a good contrast to have for this minifig. But yeah, Sirius Black, by far my favorite minifig in this set. So now let's take a look at the building itself. So I have the building closed right now, and you can see it kind of is like a double apartment styled building. We've got 3 stories right here, and if we just zoom on in to take a closer look, if you come down here, you'll see that we have the doors to these, which are really interesting because the doors are stickers here, but they don't have actual doorknobs, so you can't actually open them, which I think is super smart. If we look right here, we have door number 11 for 11 Grimmauld Place. Right here we have door number 13 for 13 Grimmauld Place, and that, as I'm sure you figured, is so that we can open up this building just like so to reveal number 12 Grimmauld Place right there. So there we go. Let's take a look at this thing zoomed out again. There it is, number 12 Grimmauld Place. The building itself looks amazing, actually. This is really, really nice looking when we have it all pulled out. Even together, it looks really good, but this is just such an iconic Harry Potter moment. I think this just looks really, really cool. And the mechanism, as I kind of hinted to earlier, is super simple. Here's a look at the interior. And another thing I love with this, check it out. I have all the minifigs inside of this set right now. All the minifigs inside the house right now, and we can still close it, which is really cool. But let's take a look at the mechanism first, which is taking place right here. We have these really awesome little chandeliers, and they actually act as the mechanism. This is just some Technic brackets, and you just push in just like that to close the building, and you just pull the 2 sides apart just like so to open the building. And I think that is amazing. I'm going to give you a little more of a wider look at that. All you have to do, again, just push in to close the building and pull out to open it. And I think that's just amazing. That's really well done. So we're going to look at the exterior of the building first. It's a lot more basic, but it's also a lot more detailed than I think I was originally expecting with this set. So coming down here, obviously this is supposed to be like a town street type of building. You know, all the buildings look pretty much exactly the same, which I think is fine. You can notice that Grimmauld Place there is a lot different colors, so it's a lot more darker, gloomier type of feel, but it just looks really nice. We use a lot of these textured brick elements here, which I think is cool. Just adds a lot of texture to it, really brings out a lot of life. Same thing with the awnings here above the windows. Really well done. And then when we come to the top level is pretty much the same as the other levels, except you'll notice they do a really cool thing here, just using some slope elements there. I'm not really sure what the idea behind it is, but it looks really cool. Definitely like that. And that's going to be a little hard to see, but we actually have some fireplaces, or not fireplaces, we have chimneys rather, on the top of the building. Either side here has it, so this side has the exact same thing, which is pretty cool. And now let's move to the interiors, because that was really all there's to see. The only other detail, which I think is pretty nice. If we just move on down here is these little street lamps. They're pretty cool. And now moving inside, taking a look at the interior of this thing. The interior is really, really nice. I'm gonna just start on the ground floor and work our way up. So in here right now, you can see I have all the minifigs set in. I'll move them as needed. So we have Sirius in there right now. This front room, which is what you'd walk in if you go through the actual door to Grimmauld Place. So this is the door that actually opens, if you can see back there. This is a kitchen, which is really nice. Obviously, this is like that dining room where all of the Order of the Phoenix were, you know, just kind of talking, figuring out plans, things like that. There's a newspaper on the table here. If we can just pull this guy out, that has the boy who lied printed on that. Pretty cool. I think this is a print we've had before from Lego, but it's just super cool. Really, really nice there. And the amount of detail in here is actually pretty insane. I'm very impressed with the amount of detail. We have a whole wall of cupboards with a whole bunch of coffee cups, things like that. Moving down here, you can see there's the actual like kitchen itself. So I'm guessing that's like a stovetop with maybe an oven. Moving to the side here, we have Creature in his closet. So this is the closet where Creature, you know, is kind of hiding, which is pretty cool. There's even some details above it. I don't know how well you can see that because there is that fan in the way, which again is just part of the mechanism to move it. But there's a couple details on the top there, just a couple like goblets, things like that. You can't really see it, but it's a cool extra additional detail just to have. And then coming down here, we have another cupboardy room. So this one is kind of just like a couple barrels, random things, but I think it's pretty cool. You can just take a good look in there. Kind of cool. And that is the whole bottom floor. And again, when this thing closes up, which we've kind of shown already a couple times, the two side rooms, so Creature's cupboard and just kind of this extra storage kind of get torn away. So that is a better look up there. And that leads us to the next room, which is the room that I currently have Molly Weasley in. And this room's really cool because it has a piano. I'm just going to move the ear here that Fred and George have. This ear is actually really cool. You know, it's their little whispering ear thing. You know, it's kind of one of those things, if you get what it is, you like it. If not, then that's all right. But here is what that room looks like without that in the way there. And it just has a piano, which I think is really cool. There's two benches in here. So right now I have Molly and the cat seated in there. But the really cool thing with this piano is that it has printed keys, which is really nice. I really like that a lot. Kind of just a really cool additional detail. And then if we want to open up this building once again, we can see the other two rooms. This room right here being my favorite, which is the family tree of the Black family. This is really nice. This looks really, really cool. It's just two stickers in there. So, you know, not perfectly aligned as you can see, but it just looks really nice. It's really cool to have this detail because, you know, it's just such an important piece of the movie, which is really important to have, which I like a lot. And then the other side, kind of basic, but if we just take a look in there, we just have a little armchair, which is nice, you know, little armchair, you know, placing and sitting minifig, pretty cool. Moving up to the third floor, we have two bedrooms on either side of the, I guess, quote, non-Grimmauld Place building. So I have Ron in this bedroom right now. This one has some really cool bats above here. I kind of like that as a detail, really, really nice looking. Up there, he's got a Gryffindor banner there. Up top, on the other side, we have another bedroom. This bedroom's a little less detailed. It has a blue bed this time, but we still have another pretty cool sticker in there, just kind of a map it looks like, and then there's some cool stuff on the top of the windowsill as well. And then this middle room, which is where we currently have Kingsley and Tonks, kind of an empty space room, but it's kind of awesome because it has two little skeletons in there and a candle. I would imagine this is supposed to be some sort of like reading room thing like that. Just, you know, really, really cool. And that leads us to the top floor, where right now I just have Fred and Weasley joking around. He had the ear on there. And the cool thing with the ear that I actually really like is that it has a little loop in there, so you can kind of just loop it onto his wand, just like so, which makes a really easy way to have him hold it down and listen in on the conversation. There it is, kind of dangling down there. And there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the Lego Harry Potter number 12 Grimmauld Place. Overall, I absolutely love this set. I knew I'd love it. I loved it when it was first announced. I love having it in person. There are so many great details, some really amazing minifigs, and this functionality is just absolutely great. I love it. Now, I do have one small issue with the set, and it's kind of more of a nitpick, but when you do have this there is a very obvious gap in the buildings, which obviously you could easily fix out by just putting like a piece right here to connect them, you know, kind of close them all together. But then when you open it, the same thing happens where there's just a pretty big gap in between the buildings, and it just kind of feels flimsy. These pieces aren't really like held together well at the top. I feel like they just needed one more of those little like angled pieces that has the fan in it. I feel like they just needed one more of them at the top. I feel like it wouldn't have even been too difficult to do either, but that's really just my only thing, where it's just a little flimsy, a little unsturdy, and there's just a little bit of a gap in here between the buildings. Now, I don't think that's a huge problem, but I will say Lego honestly noticed it, because when they advertise this thing on the boxes, they have it kind of closed halfway, which I think is half showing the play feature, but also kind of hiding that gap. So just like a small gripe with the set. I think that's honestly the only thing that bothers me with it though. But overall, like I said, I love this thing. This thing's great. I definitely recommend it. Harry Potter fans, or even just Lego fans in general, people who have like a city like I do behind me here, it's something you want to add to the city. It's just such a great looking building, such an iconic moment in Harry Potter. I absolutely love it. Anyways, that's gonna be it for my review of this set. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's been like absolutely forever since I've made a Lego video. Coming back with a review. Next thing I'm going to be doing is going to be the city behind me. I've been slowly reorganizing that, so my goal is to get a Lego City video out soon, and then we'll go from there, see what else comes out. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one though. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you all again in my next video.